Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at some of the new trailers which have dropped for F1 22, including the new one which showed off some of the features, as well as another one which is a gameplay dev diary which has been uploaded to the Codemasters YouTube channel. There is quite a lot to unpack over roughly half an hour worth of content, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to be taking a look at today is F1 Live, which is a feature I am quite interested in. So it's basically going to act as the new hub for F1, where you're all chilling with your friends before you go into a race, and it's just another layer of customization. As you can see here with the menu, there's customization, so you can change the look of your driver, and of course your home and your cars. Again, there's another supercars thing below that, which will of course be for cars. Virtual showroom, which will show cars again, which will be your supercars. Trophies, which will of course be your trophies. It does what it says in the tin basically. But the theatre is where you can also watch back races and highlights from that you saved, akin to what we currently have on the new game, but obviously only you can watch it unless you choose to share it. The only subheading on there that we're not 100% dead set on, and we've not really seen anything on how it works, like the functionality of it, is F1 Live visitors. Now, you can hazard a guess, obviously, from the name, and obviously knowing that this is an online hub, that it's basically just going to how you interact with others, how you invite them over to your place, or vice versa, you head over to theirs, and you can check out their cars and their customization of their character and their trophy room, and much more. Now, I have actually seen quite a lot of people in the F1 community get quite frustrated with the inclusion of F1 Live, as it is just, in effect, another way that EA can try drain your wallets. But I'm quite intrigued by it in the sense that they are trying to make it more accessible as a multiplayer game, in the sense that, you don't just turn up and customise the odd livery every now and again and race with your friends. They're actually trying to make it so you got your own avatar, it's more unique and more tailored to you, and you can just show off every now and again, and you can just chill in there, and it gives you something else to do when you're waiting for your other friends to come online, if you say you're waiting to do a race, or you're waiting for a league race, etc. Now, for me personally, I don't see F1 Live causing anyone any harm at all. So I can see both sides of the story. Obviously, it's EA just taking a massive sniper rifle and aiming it straight at your wallet and just saying, do it. But yeah, again, just let me know down in the comment section below if you're excited for F1 Live, or if you just do not care at all and you're just going to treat it like it's not there and you're just going to focus on the racing. Now, the next thing we're going to be taking a look at in this breakdown is the developer deep dive, which is uploaded to the Codemasters YouTube channel, which looks at the physics and handling model in the new game. Now, in typical EA fashion, they have thrown a lot of words at you in this trailer, going on about how they've put a lot of effort into the aerodynamics of the cars, if they haven't just put the car into a game and just made them go around a track. But they did actually brace some interesting points. For example, they've said that the cars will react differently to different tracks. So the surface, for example, of some tracks, like the Netherlands Zandvoort, it's quite a uneven track. It's quite rough, and the gravel is obviously very unforgiving. Whereas other tracks like let's say Bahrain, they're very smooth and new build and modern and sleek, and there's not really any bumps or anything in the road, so your car's going to be fine. But so it's quite interesting that is in the game now, and it's going to add a different sort of layer to each track, and it's going to have to make you really think on your feet and memorize where the track sort of meanders or dips or rises and falls. So that's going to be quite interesting to see. One thing that has been made clear from people who've been playing the game earlier is that the curbs behave very differently in this game. Whereas on F1 21 and games before it, the curbs were kind of the same across the board. You maybe get variations every other track, where some curbs are absolute no-goes, and you'll find out which ones are your friends quite quickly and which ones will just throw you off the track. But in the new game, what's sort of being put towards us now is that the curbs on every track will vary. And some, such as the ones in Abu Dhabi, which are quite pointy, you'll definitely feel on the force feedback and the vibrations, and you'll know quite quickly that you need to get off those curbs, otherwise you're A, in a wall, or B, your tyres are going to get absolutely destroyed. Now, one thing they did actually talk about in quite a bit of detail in the physics was the new tyre model. Now, of course, with the new regulations, the tyres have changed, and they did say that they cracked straight on with the new tyre model and ensuring that depending on, you know, your angle and your steering input will depend on how much drag and sort of friction you get as you take a corner or as you approach a new line. So there's going to be a lot more aspects to actually think about as you're driving around the track, rather than just being on autopilot and knowing the limits of your car. It will vary depending on obviously how you angle the car and how you approach different turns. But what we can take away from that is it will be very different this year depending on if you're using a wheel or just a controller. Obviously on a wheel you'll have to sort of readapt to the new friction model with the tyres, and on a controller same as well. And you know, it's all unknown territory, just like how it kind of was in real life. The new regulations, the new regs in the game, we'll just have to see how it goes as more and more people get their hands on it and the sort of general player gets their hands on it, and we'll have to see how, you know, people adapt and how this will impact racing going forward. Now finally, they did actually talk in the video about the new collision model. Of course the cars are different in shape this year, so they can't just copy and paste it over. They've had to do that from scratch, and it'll be quite interesting to see how it obviously works in terms of how easily your car can get damaged, because we have actually seen the front wings get nipped quite easily in current F1 in real life, and so I'm wondering if they've replicated that way. You're gonna have to be really gentle and make sure you don't kiss your front wing on the back of someone's car, for example. I have seen quite a bit of footage of crashes on the new game, and I've got to say that the sort of damage model does look great. The way that cars interact, say if they're hitting another car or they're burying it straight into a wall, or even just if the car finds a fault. I've seen that the tyre can sort of cave in on itself when it blows up, and the car will just lose its back end and fly into a wall. And it does look great. It looks very realistic and true to life, and as much as we all want to avoid crashing, I think if you do crash you'll just have to sit there and enjoy the spectacle. And that is a wrap on this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm so sorry I have not uploaded in 2 weeks. I have been so busy. I've been down in London. I've just had a lot going on, so again, I'm really sorry. I know this is quite late to release a video on a trailer that came out last week, but at the same time, the new content that I have covered in here with the developer's diary did come out just a few days ago, and I doubt people have, you know, sat and watched the full video, of course, so I've just kind of tried to pick out the bits that people will care about and the bits that sort of impact them, rather than EA trying to sell you the game. I will be covering some of the new F1 Manager 2022 footage. Obviously we got a release date for August 25th very recently, as well as some amazing new footage that shows off how stunning the game is, as well as the menus and how the game works. So yeah, I'll be covering that as soon as I can, and I'll be back on my grind. The channel has had quite a lot of support in my absence. I've seen that we've nearly hit 1,000 views on my last F1 2022 video, so I'm really happy with that, guys. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.